What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Bandai Power Rangers Legacy Collection, the Red Ranger from the new Power Rangers movie. Now here we do have the Red Ranger in the packaging. He does come with an accessory right here. I believe that's his beam sword, or energy sword. And then he does have a piece of the Megazord, which we'll go on to that in a little bit. Really nice looking figure. Can't wait to get him out. You can see this is the Megazord when it's all complete. Other figures of this line do include the Red Ranger, the Pink Ranger, Blue Ranger, Yellow Ranger, and Black Ranger, as well as Alpha 5. Really happy I have this guy in hand, so what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him open up, and then we'll go on to the rest of his review. So sit tight, everyone. And so here we have the Red Ranger posing out of the packaging. Before we get onto the figure, let's actually show off his accessories. First off, he does come with the left arm of the Megazord, and I can already tell just from this, I'm probably not going to like this Megazord figure, and I'll get more into that later, but nice details, the paint looks nice on it. There's just something about it that I will touch on when I actually get him built. So there is that. And then we also do have the Power Sword that the Red Ranger comes with. You can see it is made out of this blue plastic. This translucent blue plastic. If you're getting into details right here, it is translucent. The red is painted on fairly well, I would say. There's really not too much wrong with it in terms of paint. I don't like the way that they implemented this. The way you do it is that you have the Red Ranger hold this handle, turn the sword up. It's a little difficult to actually get done, but once you get it, he holds it like that, and it's just supposed to emulate him having the sword out. And you know, it's a really nice feature. One problem I do have is that he's the only one that comes with this accessory. No other Ranger comes with any sort of accessory, so that's a little unfortunate. But he does come with that, and he does hold it well. It is designed for the right hand, the way it matches the sculpt. That's what it's for. I don't know how much detail is actually supposed to be in it, but from the figure standpoint, it looks nice. So now we get on to the Red Ranger, and I have to say, there's some things I like about this figure and a couple of things I don't, and let's actually tackle the things that I don't really like about this figure. First off, the paint. I do think that they did a pretty decent job painting this figure, but I was looking at stills and images. There's just so much more that could be done in terms of paint. He is missing some silver paint that should be right here on the calves, especially here on the foot. Add to it, I kind of think that they should have thrown like a black wash on the Power Rangers, and it really does come into effect when you see them all in hand, and they have all this nice detail on them, but it gets lost because it's all molded in one color. Like, I'm pretty sure these little raised parts should also be silver, but they're not, and I know the parts on their neck should be silver. But still, from a figure standpoint, he is loaded with a lot of detail, and that's something I applaud Bandai for doing, is giving us a lot of detail with these figures. Let's actually zoom the camera in. One thing to note is that on camera he does appear red, but in hand he's kind of like this cranberry color. He's not really red, it's kind of like an off cranberry color. Like I said, on camera it is red, but in hand he's almost a cranberry. You can see the detail on the face is really nice. I do like that. You can see the silver is really painted well, especially right here on the mouth part. Let's zoom the camera out so that I stay in focus a little. And then the black is painted really well on him. So I really can't fault. Where the paint is, it's all clean. I really can't say anything bad about how clean the paint is. I just kind of wish there was more of it, because if they got this detailed with it, I can only imagine what they would have done if they had like done a wash effect or like some dry brush here and there. And I do believe that there should be some silver on his elbow as well. I have to go back and look at the stills. But you can see the paint is really nicely done, and that's why I'm a little disappointed that the Rangers don't get too much paint, because it would have been so much better. It is strikingly obvious that he is missing some paint here, seeing as how there's really nothing to separate the calf from the boot, and that's not how it is in the stills that I've seen. But still, nice figure. Now let's actually go on to something that I'm actually a little disappointed in, and that's the articulation. I don't have any other Legacy Rangers, so I really can't compare the articulation, but I have seen other reviews. So let's actually go on to his review. He actually does have a ball hinge neck, so his head does move up and down on that ball joint really slightly. We don't really get any side-to-side movement, but he does have that hinge that lets him look up and down fairly well, and like I said, it is on a ball joint, although you really don't get much play out of that ball joint. Arms on a ball hinge, that's as far as they go out, and that's only because the shoulder piece butts up against his torso right here. If it had tucked under, you'd get a little more range than that, but as it stands, that's as far as you go. And even trying to tuck it in, you really can't, so that's a little unfortunate. No bicep swivel. There is absolutely no bicep swivel or elbow cut on this figure, so his arm just goes straight down. You can't bring it across and move it so that his arm comes across his torso. It's just straight out like that. But he does have double jointed elbow, which works pretty well. You get a little bit, actually a lot better than 90. And then we do get a ball hinge wrist, so we do get some inward movement. You can actually rotate the hand, and now we have some up and down movement. So that's really nice that we see on an American figure, because this is more of an import figure piece of articulation, and we really don't get that with a lot of American or domestic figures. He does have an ab crunch, which that's as far forward as he goes. That's his neutral position, so far forward is right there. Does go back a lot further than he goes forward, and you can see the paint and the sculpt actually continue, so that's good. He has a really high waist swivel. Like if you compare his pelvis, that is a abnormally high waist swivel. And I'm guessing they didn't want to cut too much in the sculpt right here. The morphers are done really nice as well. Legs kick forward about that far. Can't really go back because of the sculpt. Go out a really good distance. He swivels at the thigh. He is double jointed in the knee, which is a little odd because he does have the swivel at the thigh cutting up the sculpt, but not here in the bicep, so that's a little unfortunate. But we do get double joints in the knee, and he does have an ankle hinge which goes forward about that far, goes back that far, and then we do have a rocker ankle, so we can get these guys in pretty good poses. Unfortunately for the male figures, they don't have any bicep swivel, so that's unfortunate. So what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get Jason here posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up his review. So sit tight, everyone. And here we have the Red Ranger pose for my final thoughts. Overall, despite the flaws, I really do like this figure, and it is very far different from the spandex that I grew up watching the original Power Rangers with, but he is a really nice figure. Now, is he worth the pickup? I would say as a stand-alone figure, no. If you're going to find these guys, you're going to want to pick up the whole set because they look best together. If you're just picking one or two Rangers, you're probably going to be disappointed with them, but if you're getting the whole set, and by the whole set I mean all 5 Rangers, you really don't need to include Alpha 5 in that set unless you want the Megazord. But if you're getting all 5 Rangers, they will all look really fantastic next to each other, and I can already tell you that if you like this guy, you're going to want to pick up the other ones because they look nice as a set. Individually, it's hit or miss there, but as a set, they look phenomenal together. Now, if you're looking for the Legacy Power Rangers figures from the movie, They are exclusive to Toys R Us, so the only place you're going to find these are Toys R Us and ToysRUs.com, although I actually lucked out and found the entire wave on one trip, so I picked them all up, and luckily I was able to get all of them, no problem. If you are looking for them, Toys R Us does have them, but I have been back to Toys R Us here and there, and it is getting harder to find the movie Rangers. The two that seem to be warming the pegs most are the Pink and Yellow Ranger, which I think are much stronger figures than the male, but that's just my opinion. But until next time, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000 saying don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews. All my Power Rangers reviews will be up one after another, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, guys, if there's a figure you guys would like to see me review, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. And if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone. My dream.